Yeah, so you guys, that wasn't actually the original plan, was to have Saturation as 3 separate albums.
Nah, it was just on a whim when the first one was finished. We're like, fuck it, let's announce the second one. So we just announced the second one. Had no songs for it at all.
You just hadn't started it yet.
No. That's what happened with same with the third one. We announced that with no songs, like, and we yeah we would say like we yeah.
That's fucking insane. So you
I know.
you announced Saturation 2, no songs made yet,
Yeah, no, nothing.
and then 3 was the same.
Yeah. Three was the same as well. But yeah, the plan was to kind of like if we put a deadline on ourselves, it kind of like it kind of like pushes you, it like forces you. It's like okay, no, like we gotta like do the second one. So yeah, and then we went straight into it. Like I think we took like a break for like a week after or whatever. And I'd like just got to America, and then like literally like the next week we started on Saturation 2. Then in the middle of Saturation 2 we moved from so essentially we moved to Van Nuys after. So most of Saturation 2 was made there, but
What was that house like?
that house was great. It was a lot more room, which was good. Yeah, no, that was a great house. Yeah. I do miss South Central. It was
It was a shithole, but it was your shithole.
yeah. It was a bit even. It's like although like those places are like they are dangerous. They're also like there's like something really beautiful about them because like you would have like families live there and shit. Like even though there'd be like you'd hear gunshots like every day. It was still like there was such like a culture there that like people from the outside like don't even know exists. Like
Yeah, it's great. Well, it's like it's a part of LA that like if you're on here on vacation, you're never going to end up in that area.
Hell
But
no,
then on
yeah.
the flip side, you never get to experience what that area has to offer.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've had some of the like best like Mexican food in my life, like in South
Facts.
Central, and it was like a guy outside the liquor store with a truck, like, and it's the best tacos you'll ever have, like, just shit like that, and like the people you meet, like, you'll meet some like the most like genuine like people there who've like lived like life. So I don't know, it's definitely like I definitely think it's like I don't know underappreciated in ways and kind of like people just write it off as like, oh, that's a scary place. I'll never go there. Like, I don't know.
Where'd you feel the big shift in terms of like when you guys were working? You had made the move to come to LA. There was no guarantees of anything kind of working. You released a Saturation tape. You announced a second tape with no songs made. I still can't believe that. Did you feel like was as soon as Saturation 1 dropped, you must have felt like some sort of a shift in terms of the direction you guys were going? Your popularity was growing. Like, did everything just change from that point on?
Yeah, pretty much. It was definitely like it was very like quick. Like, oh shit, okay, this is like. Because we'd been everything we would put out prior to that would be like, this is gonna be the one, like this is gonna be the one that's gonna like do shit for us, blah blah blah. Then with Saturation, we're just like, you know what, fuck it, let's just put this out, whatever. Like if it fucking flops, then who gives a shit? Like let's just put it out. Let's not think about anything. And then that happened to be the one which like actually like caused a shift. So it was kind of crazy, but we'd been working at it for so long that it felt like the time definitely felt right. Like we were unprepared, but we're also like prepared in a lot of ways just from like we'd always been working towards it anyway. So
It's an interesting point you make there about you were like, fuck it, we'll put it out. It's not guaranteed to work, but we just need to put it out there. A lot of artists nowadays, like in music especially, they'll like hold on to stuff, or they're like, I have an album, like maybe someone's got an album sitting and they haven't touched it in 2 years, but they have a full album just sitting there. And like you guys kind of just went, at the end of the day, we'll put it out, and what will be kind of.
yeah, I mean it definitely works with different people because you have like people like fucking like Frank Ocean who will like sit on shit for years and like come out and it's like a fucking masterpiece. That's just like how some people like operate. They like work on shit for so long, but then like I think it probably has something to do with there being like fucking so many of us, but we're like it felt right when it was done, so we're like, let's just fucking put it out, like, and that's how we've always operated like that. Like if it feels right now, let's just fucking do it. Like And yeah, I don't know. That's just the shit that works for us, honestly. When it comes to individuals, it'll probably be like a little different. Like people will be able to kind of like hone in on shit like themselves and like take time for themselves to like work on shit. But when it comes to group shit, we're like, let's just get it fucking done now. Let's just like fucking bang it out.
But it must be amazing to have all these lads kind of like bouncing off each other and inspiring each other, and like I'm sure that you know there is like down days and like whatever, especially like in the beginning I'm sure there was, but it's great to have that energy of all these people who want the same thing that you want, and you're all trying to work together to create something that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, I think that's part of the reason why we work so fast as well, because like the shit is just bouncing off everyone, so like everyone has an idea that they want to like put forth immediately. So that's what like, because for Saturation 2, I think we made like nearly 100 songs for that.
What?
Yeah, like and it would just be like a beat would be made, someone like Ian would put a hook to it, there'd be like a verse to it, and then be like, okay, whatever, next one, and then we'd just like keep doing that, and then the ones which would like stick, like we'd be like, oh, remember that song we did, or we'd go back and listen and be like, okay, this one's hard, and then we'd like flesh them out.
What was your guys' turnaround if you're saying like you're sitting on like 100 songs at one point?
Yeah.
How like were things just literally being created every single day?
We would like be like, okay, we need to make like fucking like 5 or 6 songs today, like at least idea, like it would be at the very least an idea, so we'd just like bang it out, and like everyone, it would just be working around the clock to like staying up till like fucking like 7-8 a.m. like just making shit, and then like you'd go for sleep, but someone else would be working on shit, like someone would be writing to something, you know, and like even when people were sleeping, like you could get woken up at any point being like, yo, you need to record this, like, oh shit, okay. So like it was just like constantly working.
What would you say to people who, like, you know, obviously you've came from this environment of like there's just constant inspiration going at all times for you guys. What would you say to someone who's like currently in LA, right? On broke times maybe, Little Caesars involved here and there, hot and ready's $5, unbelievable. Like, how the fuck in those times do you keep that like almost just psychotic self-belief of like one day this is gonna all be completely worth it?
I don't know, you just have to like fully throw everything in to like, I know they always say like don't put all your eggs in one basket, but you honestly have to if you're like if you really want something that bad. You just have to fully like fucking commit to it, like absolutely everything. Like, so I'm like shit at everything. Like I can barely fucking tie my shoelaces. Like,
well, I got fired from a job this year in LA because I'm shite at everything except telling dick jokes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, just and it's the only thing I like. Like, music's the only thing I really fucking like doing. Like, so I'm just gonna fully fucking commit to it until it like works. And like everyone will tell, like whenever you do like a job like acting, like comedy, like music, everyone will tell you like, you should probably like have a backup just in case it doesn't work out. Like, but you're just gonna fucking like half-ass it if like you're not fully committed to it. So just keep doing it, and you will get good. Like if you do something every day, like you put in like a $10,000 or whatever, like you will get to a point when it gets to that point where you're happy with it, or like you're at least like, okay, like this is something. Then you know, like, okay, this like is actually like something something significant. You know, I don't know.
And then that's amazing, by the way. But then you guys release all 3 saturation tapes. Maybe like a few months passes, people are like, okay, it's been 2 months now, Brockhampton hasn't released any music, what the fuck's going on? Then you go to London and you keep the same work ethic where you guys made the newest album in like the time that you were there. Where was this?
We recorded in Abbey Road. We had 10 days booked at Abbey Road. So there was a couple, we'd had like some ideas that we'd made like prior, like we had like a house in Malibu we had like before that for a little while, and we made some songs there and shit. But the bulk of the album was done in the 10 days in Abbey Road. We had like a long like period off. Went to like Hawaii for a while, and then like
what was that like at that time?
Yeah, that shit was pretty. That was intense. That was an intense time. But yeah, after that we kind of like we'd made like pretty much 2 albums, like Puppy, like Team Effort or whatever. Like we made like the pretty much like 2 albums by then, so we're like, all right. But like nothing was sticking. Like we weren't when we listened back, we were like, no, like this doesn't feel like right. It doesn't feel like like the album we want to put out. So we took a little time off, and then we're like, okay. When we came to London, it felt right. We were like, everyone was like so ready to go. Like everyone was inspired as fuck. So we're like, okay, fuck it, let's just bang it out in these 10 days again. Like we'd finally come back around to the point where we didn't give a fuck anymore, like the first album, because a lot of like during like Puppy and shit, like everyone was kind of in the mindset that like, oh, this is our first, like, this is our label debut, like this has to be like the best thing it's ever been made ever, like we have to blow everything out of the water. So you get in your head and you're like, oh fuck, like nothing I'm making's good enough. But when we finally came back to run to the point where we're like, fuck it, like who gives a fuck, like let's just get back together, like make something we're proud of and that like we had fun making. So
Did you feel that from making Puppy and Team Effort and not being happy with either of those projects, was that your kind of guys' was it a lesson in going like, at the end of the day, we have to make something that isn't being done for anybody else. It's not for the label. It's not for expectations of previous projects. We're making the music that we want to make. And I feel like you guys, it seems like you achieved it with this album big time.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Because like Iridescence was basically like, I think in a lot of ways it was kind of like therapy in a way for us, because we just wanted to have fun making music again, because we hadn't, in that period of time, we it wasn't fun making music. It was really sad. Like everything we were making was super dark, like very like emotional. So we're like let's have fun again. Like let's get to that point where we can have fun as a group and just like fucking not worry about shit. So yeah, it was amazing. So that's why I'm like a part of the album, even though like it doesn't have like it's not like poppy, it's not like hooks, it's very like all over the place and like weird and like experimental, but it was some of the most fun I've ever had making music. So yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, we're there's a couple options like which we're like thinking about right now, so I don't know.
We'll soon see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish up with a couple of fun questions for you. Favorite American fast food chain?
American fast food chain.
Like something that you know is shit, but you're like, I enjoy this.
Oh fuck!
For me, the reason I'm really scared about going home is because I won't have on-demand access to the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, Cheesecake Factory is incredible.
I fucking knew you'd be a Cheesecake Factory man. We're going there tomorrow, mate. I cannot wait. What's your go-to cheesecake?
It depends. Like I like strawberry, like even like regulars, like good, like a classic like New York cheesecake. Like I don't know, there's so many options at Cheesecake Factory. Like fucking hurts your head.
Yeah, but I feel like
most American places, it's like the paradox of choice. Like there's too much shit, so you go in there and you're like, I don't know what the fuck to get.
What do you miss from Northern Ireland cuisine?
Northern Ireland cuisine. Oh god. Oh okay. Have you ever been to fucking Guacamole? It's like down the street.
Are you serious? Are you fucking serious?
That is
the fill your box place.
The fill your box place. And it's like Mexican, Chinese, Indian cuisine mashed into one.
They fucking threw everything in that bastard.
They threw everything, and then they were playing like dubstep, like.
Did you go to the Guacamole raves?
No, was there
Mate,
there was raves?
They started, right? You would have been in America when this was going on, right?
Oh my god.
They started, for some reason, there's a nightclub right opposite Alibi, right? And then you got Lavrace. And what would happen, I think I told you about this mildly, Josh. People would go to Alibi, they'd go to Lavrace, they'd get steaming drunk for Americans watching again. They'd get steaming and they'd come out and they'd go into Guacamole and they'd like buy the food, whatever. Now, the people working behind the counter started to realise, or one day just put on like rave music and like random sing-along songs, and people would go fucking mental. So they started doing it every single night, and people would literally leave like places like Alibi early to go to Guacamole,
I can't believe I missed that. That's
dancing on the tables and shit and everything.
That's amazing. Yeah, every time I would go there, it would be dead, but they would be blasting dubstep. And then they have like these insane murals on the wall, which like someone's painted, and it's like like it's like beaches and stuff, and you're like, there's like, what is this fucking like place supposed to be? Like Chinese, Mexican, Indian cuisine with like beaches on the. It's an amazing place, and it's called Guacamole. Like,
It's so I cannot believe you just brought that up.
yeah,
That's made my whole day.
It was the fucking the salt chili chicken or whatever. That shit is amazing.
You can't get that here. You can't
No Chinese place does it. It's so sad.
It's like orange chicken and shit like that.
Yeah, orange chicken's good. Like from probably fucking Panda Express.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, that's one.
It's like a little bit more upper class guacamole.
Yeah. It's like a guacamole that they've like cleaned.
What's the most? They've got like a 1 hygiene rating at least.
Yeah.
What's the most LA shit you've caught yourself doing?
What's LA shit? Like I've comment like just on like a day-to-day basis, like or like something that I've done. I've been like, that's really wanky.
Yeah, for me, like I have a friend called Ocean, right? And yeah, of course, mid standard, right? And she has read me my star sign, and I used to go, that is an absolute pile of wank. And now, mate, if I'm going out with a girl, I'm like, can you check her chart for me real quick?
To be fair, I do say it's shy, but then there has been times where like someone has like read that shit, like, and I'll be like, all right, that's like creepily accurate. That's weirdly accurate.
It's weird accurate.
I need like Darren Brown to like fucking debunk it for me though.
And here's the thing: I won't go near crystals. I won't touch crystals.
No, like crystal skulls or any of that shit.
Nah, fuck that. But what have you caught? Like I know, for example, like again, Northern Ireland won't let you away with anything, because one day I put up a picture of me eating avocado on toast, right?
Oh my god.
And I got all these messages being like, you fucking Californian, forget where you come from, absolute twat, right? I'm like, mate, I'm just having breakfast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, let me live. Have you clocked yourself doing anything like that where you're like, if people back home catch wind of this, I'm fucked?
Like, I've like Postmated like water from like the 7-Eleven down the street, like literally down the street that I walk to every day. But I was like, no, I'm fucking like, I don't want to get out of bed right now. So I've Postmated water before, and
Were you hanging?
No, I was just like, I don't feel like getting up today, and I was like, I can just Postmate this.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I know I did that, and I was like, I feel really bad because the guy will come to the door with just a bottle of water, and he's like, you made me drive all the way for this. I'm like, I'm really sorry. And he'll like see the distance from the 7-Eleven to the house, and he'll be like, you dickhead. And, well, I'll give a nice tip, so like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, there you go. If you tip, sure, fuck it, you know. I'm still trying to get used to tipping out here as well.
It's a headache. It's because the worst is at bars. Yeah. Bars will make, like, and I always forget. They'll be like, oh, excuse me. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. Like, it's such a weird thing. Like, cause like just list it on the price. Like, nothing. Oh, that's another thing. They don't include fucking tax in the fucking price. So be like, oh yeah, it's like $3.99. You're like, sick. It's like, no, it's actually like 4 won or something. Like, fuck off. Like, just fucking list it in the price.
Yeah. So for me, right, I love walking around LA and just like shouting out or saying random Northern Irish slang, and then having people not have a fucking clue what I'm saying. What's your favourite piece of Northern Ireland slang that you've tried? Have you tried to teach any slang to any other members of the group?
Absolutely, yeah. Like all the time, no one's like, what the fuck did you just say? I always try to say I'm giving it rice. And they're like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, rice? What's that got to do with anything? And I was like, no, it means like fucking like go on, like. It's hard to, it's like a feeling, you know what I mean? It's hard to describe giving it rice, like, but yeah, I try to teach them that. Or like, your ma, like the classic. Your ma. Like, your ma's your dad. Like, you know the classic.
Your dad sells Avon.
Your dad sells Avon.
That's fucking hilarious, man. Trying to think as well, what else do I have for you? Oh, if you said that you feel like you suck at everything except music, what is the worst job that you've ever had? I got fired this year again. Shout out to the lads. But like, I suck at every job I've ever had. What was the job that you have where you're like, I'm objectively shite here.
Yeah, I had a job in where's the place where the fucking big House of Fraser is?
Victoria Square.
Yeah, Victoria Square. Yeah, I had a job in the House of Fraser at Victoria Square at this like little area, and they sold like TVs and shit. It like doesn't exist anymore. So like TVs and like fucking like iPods and shit.
You worked in Victoria Square.
Yeah, but I literally worked there for like a week. Like not even
Fired.
Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah, I guess I was kind of fired, but so I initially was handing out leaflets in Victoria Square. And they were like, "Oh, do you want to like work in the place or whatever?" Oh, I got fired from the leaflet thing, but not by the workplace, by security at Victoria Square, because people were just taking the leaflets and then just throwing them on the floor. And then the security was like, "You need to stop this." I'm like, I'm not doing it. They're throwing them on the floor. I'm just handing them out. But yeah, and it got to the point where it's like, no, it's like you're done. I was like, all right, shit. But so I think the guy like felt bad for me for like that, and he's like, "Oh, well, like come do like a little work in like the stock area at the back." I just fucking hated it. And the boss was literally like fucking David Brent from The Office. It was like like frosted tips and everything. He's like pushing like mid-40s. Like it was really like something like The fucking Office. But yeah, I was just shy at it, and it was around Christmas time. So you remember when it snowed so bad that like the whole country just like shut down.
Oh, my flight coming to LA, like to move here, was nearly fucking cancelled because of the snow. It was like inches off the ground.
Wow. Yeah, because when that happened to me, it was like, yeah, it was crazy. And then like all the stock that was supposed to come in for the place like didn't arrive, so like just go home. And it kept happening, so I was like, yeah, just don't come back. And I was like, all right, okay.
That's fucking hilarious. Weirdest fan interaction, because you guys have a cult following. Like there's a Twitter account, right, called, I don't know if you're aware of this, right? There's a Twitter account. It's got thousands of followers. Every tweet gets thousands of retweets, favorites. It's called Snackhampton, right? And it says the snack of the day is, and then it's one of you guys, and it changes every day. So that's the kind of following we're talking about here, right?
Yeah, no, I've seen some mental ones. There'll be ones that there will be one like Ciaran's hands. There'll be like Ciaran's nose, like Twitter accounts, like Instagram accounts. It'll just be pictures of my nose that they find, or like then there'll be like even more like vulgar. It'll be like big dick Ciaran, or like Ciaran's penis, like, or like suck my dick Ciaran, like just like weird shit. And I'll be like, and it'll be like 14-year-olds making them. I'm like, this is not right. This is like not okay.
Do you read shit online?
I did for a while, and then I was like, I need to not do this, because you'll just see like the most like some of it will be like hilarious and just insane, and some of it will be like terrifying, and then some of it will just like outright just like mean. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm a.
Yeah, I think like I made the conscious effort to stop looking online, because even like that video where like Tyler came to watch me do stand up, it was all great comments, and then there's like 2 or 3 where it's like, you fucking waste of space. Like,
yeah, it was like, you didn't need to do that. Like, yeah, I'm not hurting anyone. Like,
yeah,
I'm just doing what I like to do. Like, I'm not doing anything. And then people will just get so angry at it if they don't like it. I don't know. It's very bizarre.
Favorite Netflix show to binge?
I'm shitting. Like, hey, William, how you doing?
What's up, Marlon?
How
are you? What's up?
No, I'm saying like, yo, Belfast. The venue guys guess. Yo, I met you. Wait, oh, this is not your same friend. I actually haven't met you.
No, you're thinking of my friend Connor.
Yeah.
He's from Belfast as well.
Yeah, this is a different friend.
Yeah.
Shit.
I met you briefly at the pop-up shop thing
Oh,
for a minute. Yeah.
What's your name?
Aaron.
And what's up, man?
Good to meet you, man. I heard you're a big yoga man at the house.
Yeah. I like yoga. I like girls that do yoga too.
Yeah. It's odd. I wouldn't have had you guy as a yoga guy or a reading guy, but apparently you're very fond of both.
Wait, say again?
I wouldn't have had you as like a reading or yoga guy, but apparently you're like obsessed with both.
Wait, what's the first thing besides yoga?
Yoga and reading.
Reading how it works. Oh, bro, I got many sides, but people don't realize like I got like many sides, bro. I'm like a dodecahedron. I got many sides.
I love that. What's
On
it been
that
like
note-
living with Ciaran?
We share.
I can't talk about that.
Thank you so much, man.
See ya. See ya.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we'll wrap up anyway. But I guess to close off on, what would be, for anybody watching here, fans and upcoming artists alike, especially shout outs to the creatives in Northern Ireland, what's your one final like words of wisdom, piece of advice?
I don't know. Just I can't think of anything that's not cliche, but you'll find the cliche shit is like honestly the truth. Like just don't stop at any point. Like don't get discouraged by like family or like friends or whatever. Like just anyone. Like even on like people on the internet, if you've put shit out already and like people like are just fucking talking shit, like just fucking ignore it. Just keep going. Just keep constantly making shit. Like and just like constantly try to get better. Like never like settle or get complacent. Like thinking like no I'm good. Like just always like keep going. Just always make something better than the last shit you just made.
Ciaran McDonald, aka Bearface, it's been a pleasure, man.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you so much.